Hello there. Once again, it's Anton from Antonio Bay. Thank you for stopping by the collection room. Today I'm taking a look at some comics. It is raining cats and dogs outside, and I haven't had much else to do today, just because there's been so much weather going on. But today, even though we're getting close to Halloween, we're going to take a look at The Adventures of Chrissie Claus. This is a book by Hero Graphics. Kind of a weird one. I don't really understand how it all fits together, but it does. And it's in there, and I was able to pick up 3 issues of this, and they're rather hard to get their hands on. So I was pretty glad to find these. These are from the creators of Flare. Flare is another, of course, comic that I cover quite often in regards to heroic graphics, just because not a lot of people do, and it's a good book. So this is Chrissie Claus. She is one of Santa's elves, I believe, is how this goes. And in order to function and leave the North Pole and visit the normal human realm, she has to keep her little Santa hat on. It keeps her in human form, relatively, all the time. When she takes it off, she becomes back to the normal little elf thing. So yeah, that's the plot. That's your hijinks. So if you ever wonder why she's, in a bikini at the beach and all this stuff, and she still has her Santa Claus hat on, that would be why. Because she has to wear that, or she turns back into, I believe, a little green elf thing. At least a much shorter thing. Why they thought that this was a good idea for a comic, I don't really know. I didn't think Christmas Santa Claus themed things usually go with comics so well. I'm struggling to think of any, and even like the hokey like Santa Claus versus the Moon Man and stuff like that are notoriously bad, and people don't actually like them. So I don't know why they decided to make this character. It's kind of weird. I'm usually open for all sorts of ideas, but this one does leave me scratching my head as to what the thought process was to it, other than they just thought she looked really cute in the hat, which I suppose could be. Makes sense, but I don't know. Just seems like it was an odd, far-fetched idea here. Not that I don't love it. I think it's cool, but also at the same time, I have to scratch my head and think of marketing. What were you doing? What's the biggest bargain in comics today? Black and White Magic. Innovations, finest moments. 100 pages of high-quality adventure, only $2.95. That would be awesome to find that. But you won't, probably. Black and White Magic for $2.95. I should look that up. See if I can get my hands on that. Otherwise, this is very cartoony. And if you know, this is by the creator of Flare. Flare is pretty racy, pretty mature. And this is very kind of juvenile. So, I don't know. Just kind of a weird little take on it. Weird little thing. At least in this very first issue I have of her. She doesn't appear to be hyper-sexualized. I do think that kind of tended to happen a little later. But I guess we'll see. For children of all ages. So, that's the claim. Bikini aside. Here comes Chrissie Claus. She's Santa's little elfin granddaughter, and she's back for an all-new holiday adventure. I wonder if they put one of these out every year around Christmas time. I don't know. It's just once a year she ventures out. Either way, like I said, I was super excited to get these. I love weird stuff. I love obscure stuff, and I love basically everything I've gotten from Heroic Publishing. They're interesting books. They're not normal. And you're either going to find them super cheap in your quarter bin or your dollar bin somewhere back in the day, or somebody's going to have them and they're going to want an arm and a leg for them. I haven't really found a middle ground often. These I did happen to get at I think a pretty good price. I think I got the whole lot for, they were probably $4 a piece, which is in my opinion, very expensive for a comic. I realize that's not a lot for comics these days, but, you know, this seems like a lot to me. $4 an issue, that's pretty pricey. Better than like $10 an issue and stuff like that, which very seldom do I ever pay that much for a comic book. Just because it just goes completely against my comic collecting mentality. I am the dollar bin guy. That is where I have always collected. I have always looked for the interesting and the unknown in the dollar bins, and that's where I like to stay. And whenever you start pulling stuff out of a dollar bin and telling me that it's, you know, a $5 to $10 book, I start to lose interest pretty quick. You see, Heroic Publishing back issue department did have quite a few stuff going on. They had League of Champions, which I have a lot of. Icicle, Flare, Eternity Smith I don't have any of. Flare's second series. I got both issues of Sparkplug, all 6 issues of Rose, just and all 6 issues of Tigra. Very, very good. I guess it was only 5 issues of Rose, 6 issues of Tigress. Yeah, cool little company. I try to get everything from them I can. Still, this one just leaves me scratching my head. Like, you're a small publishing company, you know, you're struggling. This is even to 2010. I'm like, this came out in 2010, which just seems nuts. So I know there's more Chrissie Claus out there, but this is what I was able to find. It just seems like the odd thing for especially this comic company to put out, because of the other comics I mentioned, Rose is pretty mature themed. Tigress is rather mature themed, and of course Flare has some extremely mature themes and things like that. And so it just seems weird that they make this quasi childish kind of kids character. I don't know. At least has the appearance of a kid's character. It was a weird idea. I'll stop talking about how weird, it was a weird idea, and we'll just start looking at the art. This isn't bad. Little on the, I don't know, meh side. There's not a lot of super crazy things happening. Of course, I'm not, you know, reading the dialogue right now. I'm trying to flip through it. I do have to notice that this elf's mug says "World's Most Evil Elf," which is kind of funny. I would say we may be slightly less family friendly. But Bruno says I get to be the winter solstice. And they took her hat. Can't take her hat. Yeah, this is the kind of normal offerings I see from this company, especially in later years. I have seen issues of Flare. Some of these I'm going to have to look up. Liberty Comics, that looks pretty good. Or interesting. Witch Girls Incorporated, that sounds fun. And it's got Dr. Arcane in it. The Morgan Wars Champions. Sensational G-Girl. Not familiar with that one. Flare, Chrissie Claus. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Murcielaga? Okay, I just tried to pronounce it. Oh, and I always thought these were cool. I mean, cool in concept, but who's going to cut up their comic book to do these? Like, no one's going to do that. Or maybe somebody does. They used to have them all the time in Archie stuff, and it just seemed weird that they would do that. I don't care for this art. It's too squarish. That's a nice picture of Chrissy. Big, beautiful firecracker. Another good one. Yeah, so very holiday themed, which I realize it's the wrong holiday to be checking these out, but this is when they arrived, and they were just so odd and so interesting that I had to share them. I noticed this one is a little bit shorter than all the others. I noticed a lot of small publishers at different times have different sizing issues when they're cropping stuff, and I don't know, it just was a thing. But yeah, it is a good quarter inch, half inch shorter almost. Huh. Anyway, that's Chrissie Claus. If you are familiar with Heroic Graphics, Heroic Publishing, or same company, different name, or Chrissie Claus in general, you know, drop a like or something in a comment. Tell me anything, because I find these just super odd, and if there was more anybody knows about them, I'd be hearing it. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say on these. Thank you guys for watching. If you like videos about weird comics where I don't have any information for you, then hit the like and subscribe button. And then I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.